Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
No one in Asgard understood what had happened. Odin, the Allfather, and ruler of the 9 realms, suddenly vanished. All at once the ground shook and the sky darkened. A shadow as large as the land itself rose up, blotting out the sun. Jormungandr, followed by the other great serpents of the seas and skies, devoured everything in their path. The Valkyries lifted up their swords in defense of their home, but as they flew, the ground burned beneath the fire demons of Muspelheim. The dwarves and Jotuns soon followed, raising the home of the gods. Heimdall sounded the Gjallarhorn. Its deafening cry filled the air, calling Asgard's allies to arms. As the war of the 9 realms raged, cracks formed along the branches of the world tree Yggdrasil, tracing from the highest sprigs to the deepest roots, unleashing villains long forgotten. Hel and Loki joined in the pandemonium, raising Asgard further. With no Allfather to unite them, the gods devolved into squabbling and battled amongst themselves, drawing monsters and allies alike into their feud. This war threatens to destroy not just Asgard, but Yggdrasil itself. The gods are divided, and only when one is crowned the new Allfather can we hope to stop Ragnarok before all is lost.
Sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me neither, but this is the story of Runes of Ragnarok, a game of dice, combat, and strategy. A new game that's on Kickstarter currently, and we're lucky enough to have on Chris from Windborn Games to talk about it with us. He's the mastermind and the creator of this game. Is that right, Chris?
That's correct. Hey, thanks for having me on.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf. We really appreciate it, Chris. So let's rewind a little bit. How did you get into tabletop board gaming?
Oh, man. Okay, so tabletop board gaming has always been a long time passion of mine. Started out as a kid, playing Monopoly, Scrabble, anything. I know all the classics, Fell out of it for a few years, got really into video games, and, more recently as, the new generation of board games has really been taking off.
Cool beans. Was there a specific game that got you into the newer stuff?
I really love the Cryptozoic Deck Builder games, Lord of the Rings, and especially the DC deck builders.
Cool beans. Cool. Yeah, I've never played that personally, but I really like the deck building aspect. I've played Star Realms and Cthulhu Realms and stuff like that, Hero Realms.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, I haven't played any of those. I should check those out.
Cool beans. So, besides Runes of Ragnarok, do you have a favorite game currently?
I'm really enjoying Overlords of Infamy.
Cool, I haven't heard of that one. What can you tell us about it?
Overlords of Infamy is a kind of worker placement mission game where you play as a one of various villains, and you're just trying to commit as many acts of villainy as you can to become the worst villain as possible. In I think it's Planet Fred.
Oh, cool bean. So it doesn't use the dice building or the deck building though?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool beans. Yeah. Besides the mechanics, it reminds me kind of Kapow, a game that's currently on Kickstarter where you're a superhero or a supervillain, but it's another dice building game that launched a little bit ago.
Yeah, I was watching that. That game looks really interesting.
Okay, cool beans. So you've word on the street is you created a new game and it's currently on Kickstarter. What can you tell us about your new game?
It's a 2 to 4 player game where you play as a Norse god. And in it, Ragnarok is happening, Asgard is being overwhelmed by monsters, and you're the last line of defense. And you, being the stoic god that you are, have decided to rise up and save Asgard from total destruction. Unfortunately, you're not the only one, and Norse gods being what they are, they start squabbling amongst themselves, fighting to see who actually gets to rule and be the new Allfather and lead Asgard to victory. So now you're all fighting amongst yourselves, just commanding the various armies of Asgard, and even taking control of some of the enemies of Asgard as well to fight for you. So the whole concept of the game is that you're just battling everyone else in the midst of all this chaos, and whoever's left over at the end wins.
Cool beans. So why a dice building as opposed to a deck building?
Oh, I just really love dice. It's a lot of fun. There's a good random element to it. You and someone else might buy the same creature, but not have the exact same version of it. Also, just the tactile sensation of holding the dice and rolling them, and the 3D aspects. It's a lot of fun. I prefer dice over cards when I can get them.
Cool beans. Do you have a specific die you like the best, like a 6 or how many ever sided dice that you like best?
Yeah, I think I really prefer the D12, only because I hardly ever get to use it. I think that's the one that looks more like a soccer ball. Like D6 are pretty common, D20's common. Even D10, like if you're using percentile, you get to use them quite a bit. So yeah, the D12s, when I get to break those puppies out, it's a lot of fun.
So tell us about the theme. How did I want to say there was a recent Thor movie that come out. Did that have anything to do with it? Any of the Thor movies or anything? Or how'd you come up with the theme?
Surprisingly, the movie actually had nothing at all to do with the theme of our game. I've just always been a fan of Norse mythology ever since I was little. Same with the wife. And runes themselves have been a part of the game since its inception. And when we were rebranding it for the third time, actually, we were looking at what we could do, and we love alliterations and just came up with Runes of Ragnarok and settled on a Norse theme. Now, the timing for the release of the campaign, that was centered around the movie a bit, because, we saw the marketing opportunity there with Thor Ragnarok coming out, and we're like, we've got this Norse-themed game, it's all about Ragnarok, and there's a Ragnarok movie, so let's do it then. Like, we were aiming for a November release anyway, so we figured, why not right now?
How do you play your dice building game?
Well, this being a podcast, it would sound a lot like just a bunch of dice hitting a table, making loud, obnoxious, clacking noise, probably blasting people's eardrums out. But, if you were to play, the game is actually played in rounds. Each round is broken up into 2 phases. You've got the ready phase and the combat phase. Each player takes a turn in the ready phase first, which is where they roll the rune dice to get spells, to get focus, which is the game's currency. You buy up creatures, which are dice. You're upgrading your hero, which gives you, various abilities, but depending on which god you're playing as. We've got Thor, Sif, Heimdall, Freya are the good guys, and just recently we've also released Loki and Hel as villains you can play as well. So that's 6 playable characters. They've all got unique abilities that you can upgrade. We've got 5 relics you can also purchase. And yeah, so you'll build up all of that stuff during the ready phase. Everyone gets a turn, and then you go into combat. And when you're in combat, you start slinging your spells around to screw with the other players and their armies, and you just start battling away. Our combat system is actually a bit simplified compared to other games. You basically just total up the numbers on the dice and compare. You don't have to worry about individual creatures attacking and blocking and double blocking or anything weird like that. It's just straight add up numbers and which numbers are bigger. And you'll just keep battling that way, hitting the other gods in your way until there's only one player left. This is a player elimination game, so the last one standing wins. We are also working on a co-op mode right now where all of the players work together to fight a lineup of boss monsters with their own unique abilities and boss specials. We'd really like to release that one with the game, but we don't want to release it kind of half-cocked, it's just kind of a crappy add-on. So if it's not ready, we won't release it, but if it's good, then we'll totally send it out there.
Okay, so does everybody pick a god from Norse mythology and you just fight against each other then?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the game, you can either get the gods randomly or just pick. It's player choice, really.
Cool beans. It looks like you're getting pretty close. At the time of this recording, you're about a little bit less than $300 shy of the 50% mark.
Yeah, we're at about 60% right now. We don't have much time left, but we're holding out hope that there's enough people who remind me later that, they might push us over the top.
When do people have to back this game until?
The campaign ends next Friday, December 15th at midnight Pacific time. So be sure to back before then.
Okay, cool beans. So, per se, somebody's fallen asleep and they missed some of it. It wouldn't be because of you or your game. It'd be because they're a little bit tired of listening to my podcast. Why should they, but now they're up so they don't hit that oncoming traffic. Why should they take a chance on Ragnarok, a game of dice and combat?
Why should they take a chance on Runes of Ragnarok? Because it is a great game, It fills a nice little niche that you don't see a lot anymore. It's player elimination, combat, and dice. You've got a lot of competitive games, but they're not actually eliminating players. This game was born out of a love of games like Magic the Gathering and stuff, but, I spent way too much money on Magic cards and games like that, so I wanted to get rid of the collectible aspect and just have a all-in-the-box game that it gave you the same feel as those types of combat games, but at a much, much more reasonable price point. So, for $40, you get the entire game with 24 minions and lots of replay value. You've got, like I said, the 24 creatures. You're only using about 5 or 6 per game, so you get lots of interchange going on there. You've got 6 playable characters that you can switch around between each game, and the 5 relics, which modify how your hero actually plays. So, for all in, there's so much replayability in the box. It gives you tons of hours of just fighting and smashing your friends to Kingdom Come. So that's why you should back Runes of Ragnarok, because it's a great game with tons of replay value and lots of custom dice. Who doesn't love dice, right?
Okay, cool beans. That sounds fun. So, if people are looking to find out more about the game from besides just you, any notable reviewers on YouTube or anywhere that have reviewed your game?
We've had a preview from Gaming with Edo. We did a live stream with the Unfiltered Gamer. Board Gaming for the Win wrote a review. We had Everything Board Games also write a review.
Thanks for coming on Getting Geeky with Gamer Life. We really appreciate it. How do people go about finding you, minus coming to your hometown to stalk you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was great to be here. Always love talking to people about Runes of Ragnarok. So, yeah, you can find us on our website at www.windborngames.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at Windborn Games. Obviously, our Kickstarter is Runes of Ragnarok. And just a reminder, that ends on December 15th at midnight Pacific time. So, thank you for having me.
Wait, tonight we have Kickstarter. Who do we have on this one?
On Kickstarter Corner, is that the question?
Uh-huh.
Let me show you.
Daddy design, actually, my cats, my dogs, and me. Daddy design, and Daddy proof.
And we also have Sherwood Forest of, let's see here, we have Sherwood, The Legend of Robin Hood, 2E, Savage World by Battlefield Press. This is a great new setting in Savage World's world. Welcome to Sherwood Forest, a place of mystery and excitement. Band together to oppose the forces of Sheriff and Prince John in England during the Third Crusade. Create your characters to do what is best for England and King Richard by protecting his interests at home. And we can find these on Kickstarter, and we'll catch you all on the
Flip side or dance floor.
Thanks for joining us, Batleaf.
Who are you?
You know who I am. Who am I?
Gamer.
Gamer Leaf? Yep, last time you said Daddy Leaf. Yep, I'm Gamer Leaf. Thanks, Batleaf.
Okay, Daddy Leaf.
Hey!
I think I'm with Leaf.
Get geeky, stay geeky, or bring those into the geek fold with you. We'll catch you all
Or
on the flip.
take your booty on the flip side.
Or shake your booty on the flip side, as Batleaf likes to say. Thanks, bye.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.